Hello, if you're listening to this, it's probably because you are becoming one of Stellar's regional ambassador presidents. This is a checklist that can be found on Notion of everything you're going to have to do to get started. I'll walk you through the checklist now because completing each part is necessary to get your local chapter funded. First, you must fill out the KYC form. It's short, pretty straightforward. You just hit submit when you're done and you're finished. Then your tax forms. Please fill these out and email them to the provided addresses. The PDD form will come after this, and you should also email this to the provided addresses. Once all three of these are complete, message me, Dana, or Nomad, on Discord with your full legal name, email address, and Discord handle, along with your XLM wallet address. I will give you the president's role on Discord. And let's go over to Discord and I'll show you what this means you can do for every one of your regional ambassadors. Over here on Discord, you'll see that the region that you're the president of should have its own channel. Let's pretend for a minute I've just become president of the South African Ambassadors chapter. I'll go over here to the channel, and now that I have been given the president's role, I can do something very important, and that is everyone who's from South Africa can now be given the role from me of South African ambassador. You do this by right-clicking on their name, going to roles, and choosing South African ambassador here. It's really important that you give everybody this role who is from the region because we use these numbers in our monthly budget reviews, and you also want to be able to tag them all before meetings or events. Giving out the ambassador roles for your region is going to be an ongoing process, and you need to stay on top of it so we can see how much the program has grown when we do our budget reviews. Having good attendance at your weekly meetings is another metric we look at, which means being able to tag everyone with this role before a meeting is very helpful. So make sure you check and see that everyone who is chatting in your regional channel has the green colored name, which indicates they have received their ambassador role. Your next order of business is deciding on a time and day for your weekly meetings. You should talk it over with members of your cohort and select a time that works well for most people. These meetings can be anywhere between 30 minutes to 90 minutes, and they all take place on the Discord Ambassador stage. Once you have decided on a day and time, you need to add it to the Notion database. Don't be scared, I'll show you how Notion works right now. Hey everyone, this is the Stellar Ambassador Program's Notion page. If you're a chapter president, please watch this video in full and follow the directions carefully. It's important you fill out everything correctly with the proper data because this is information we're going to use for the budget reviews. This is the home page. It has different time zones for ambassador regions, program description, and over here there are SCF funded projects that have emerged from the ambassadors program. This is one important way we gauge the success of the program, so it's really important for you guys to tell me when ambassadors from your region are working on projects that have gotten SCF funding or are applying for SCF funding. At your weekly meetings, it's always good to get updates with everyone and see what they are building, so please do report these projects to me. Down here is a list of all the weekly meetings that is happening with different cohorts. Your first order of business is selecting a time for your weekly meetings, and that will be added to this database. Now, back up here is your navigation sidebar. This is what will help you move around Notion and get to all the places you'll need to get to. In this navigation bar, you'll see a link to President. When you click it, it takes you here. The first link is our Everything database. This is where you're going to input all the important data about your cohort. There are 5 types of data you'll need to track in here: meetings, social, events, education, and operational. Filling these in is very, very important because this is a major part of our final budget review, which will determine how much money your chapter receives in funding. Failure to manage this properly could result in 0 funding for your chapter or removal as president. But it's very simple to do, so don't worry. I will pretend I am the new president of the Mexico chapter. Mexico has hit the target number of over 30 registered ambassadors, so we can start an official ambassador program for Mexico. How do we know that Mexico hit 30 people registered? We can look over here at ambassadors. This breaks down every ambassador program by region and tells you how many people right here are registered. So if we go down to Mexico, where are you? There we are. We have 62 registered people in Mexico, well over the 30 needed. So let's go back to presidents, new everything, and fill in what we need to do this week. Here we are, new page. This could be your weekly meeting, let's say. This is how you add your weekly meeting to Notion. Type in weekly Mexico meeting, program, select Mexico, type. This is a meeting about meeting for you can write anything you want here. I'm just going to keep it short because I'm just showing you how to do this. Meeting for ambassadors, whatever. You make it more detailed when you do yours. Date. So let's say you've spoken to all your ambassadors and you've decided to have the meeting on Mondays at 7 o'clock. Just put in the next Monday, and we can add every Monday after we enter the first one. So we put in the first Monday. We want to put in the time in the right time zone. So, oh, sorry, it said 7 p.m. PST. Oops, PST. Make sure you put in the time zone. Location. The location of these meetings is always going to be on the Stellar Ambassador stage. So you can just do something like discord.gg/stellardev. That's just a link to our Discord. Recording. You don't have to record your meetings, but if you do, you can put a link to it here. Agenda. You don't have to do an agenda for your meetings, but if you'd like to give people a heads up on what you're going to talk about, or if you have like a guest speaker, it might be worth doing a weekly agenda. Attendance, you do have to do, and that's after the meeting. Just put in how many people went to the meeting. After that, you're good. And it should be added now to our list of everything, and here we are. So you see it here listed in the everything database, and you also can go up here and go to About Mexico and see it listed here. Here's your weekly meeting and all the information about it listed right there for anyone to see who's interested in looking at what the Mexican ambassadors are doing. You can also change this to show a picture of something, like a picture from one of your events, or if it's before you've had any events, you can go here and use AI and just type in like Mexico, and then just like put in a picture. It just makes it look nicer when it's on your page if you want. It usually does. Hang on. Layout. Okay, that's page content, so you want to go page cover. There you go. Now you can see it, and that looks nice. But the main thing I wanted to show you was down here is the calendar, and you can see it on the calendar here. And if you want to have it every Monday reoccurring, just go like this: duplicate, move it down, duplicate, move it down, duplicate, move it down. And it won't change any of the information other than the date, which is exactly what you want. And you can do it for however many months in a row you want, but we'll just start with 1 month here. So now you have a full month of meetings scheduled. The next thing you're going to have to do after you add the weekly meeting to Notion is you're going to have to set it up as an event on Discord. You're going to have to go to the ambassador stage, which will be set up right below the Stellar stage here, and you'll click it, and you'll go to Create Event. Stage event, Stellar stage. You're going to pick the ambassador stage when you do this. Next, event topic, just put, Mexican. You make sure you have your region listed, so like Mexico weekly meeting. Put in the description a little bit about what the meeting's about. Put the date, put the time. You want to definitely put weekly, whatever day of the week it is, so you don't have to do this every week. Then you click next, and I don't want to actually make an event here, but it'll go into the events. You can add a picture if you'd like, and it will pop up every week, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. I would just say make sure you remember to host the event, and also ping everyone you've given the role to in your region before the meetings happen so they know to attend. So if you want to add an event now that's not your weekly meetings but is a in-person, like meetup style event, you do so by going to the same database and typing in the name of the event. Let's call it a University Smart Contracts Meetup. Okay, the program, Mexico, type. This will be an event. The social is for like Twitter spaces maybe that happen every week, things like that. Meetings are obviously, we just went over the weekly meetings. Operations is like if you want to add people's travel budgets for speaking at certain events, ambassadors traveling around for certain events, things like that. Operational charges. Event is what we're doing now. In-person events, and educational can be like workshops or virtual online classes. So we're going to just go regular event. About, you want to make this a lot better than what I'm just going to show as an example, but just kind of make this sound appealing to people. University students meet up to learn about smart contracts on Stellar. Date, we'll put it on the 15th. Time, 9 a.m. PST. Oops. PST. Location, you want to put like Stevens Hall, University of Mexico. Just put the location there. Recording, if you have a recording you want to add of the event, you can add that here, but it's not necessary. Agenda needs to be here, and it should be detailed. It should be a PDF uploaded. Attendance you'll add after, and then you have to click down there to get the 8 more properties. All right, so after that, budget needs to be a PDF itemized budget. So agenda and budget both are PDFs you upload, and this needs to be itemized. Price, all price needs to be is just the total budget. So we'll put it like $1,600, say, and it'll convert it to dollars for you, and that should just be the total price of the event. Luma link, you need to have it on Luma where people can register to attend the event. That needs to be up at least a couple weeks before the event happens, so make sure that Luma link is there. Photos of the event can be linked to the Google Drive after the event, as well as emails. Both those links are available for every region on the checklist, which I showed you earlier. Attendance can be added afterwards, and then you're done. And it should show up here now, University Smart Contracts Meetup. Yep. And it will also show up in the events section. So now if you go over to events, you'll see a list of all the events for the next month across all the different programs. Right now, what you'll see is the Mexico events that we just put into the Everything database. So the 4 weekly meetings that are going to happen this month, as well as the University Smart Contracts Meetup that we added. Okay, so let's go over our checklist and see what we have left. KYC, went over those forms, tax forms, due diligence, get the test amount sent. That's when you give me your XLM wallet address. I've given you the email and photo list links. Get the president role on Discord. We went over that, and how to give people roles on Discord. We went over that. Talk to ambassadors about the weekly time and day of the meeting. Yep. Added the meeting to Notion. Yep. Select ambassadors to run your socials. Yep. Add weekly socials to Notion. Yep. And then fill out your About Us section and social media links. That's the last thing we have left to do on the checklist. So if you go to About Mexico, you'll see this little blurb here, which you're going to want to delete, which all you have to do is just highlight and click delete. And you're going to want to write about the program in Mexico. I gave you some direction, but you can kind of expand on this, like what types of events you host, what stellar projects have emerged from the area, what universities are you partnered with, if any, and also talk about the president, who they are, how to reach them on Discord, and talk about when the meetings are and how to register for the program. So let's head over to West Africa's About Me section, and you can see how they have their setup. They give a little overview about the region and its population, describing it as a vibrant hub for technological innovation with a big startup culture, and that it's seeing a lot of global investment. They go on to express the potential for the region to lead in sectors like fintech and agritech, which of course lend themselves well to the stellar ecosystem, which they do discuss down here more when they describe the ambassadors program, and they talk a little bit about what they do, projects that have emerged from the program like Gear Up, weekly meeting times, registration directions, and of course a little bit about the chapter president, David, his background, and how to contact him on Discord. You just have to write a few paragraphs like this. Obviously, don't worry about any of the pictures yet, and you will be done, and you'll be ready to head over to the social media section, which will be set up here for you. You will see a list of the platforms, including Twitter, Medium, and Luma. You need to link all three of these, and you can add more if you'd like. I think West Africa links their Telegram as well as their weekly Twitter space. We're back on the home page now, and I will show you all the important links in the side navigation bar that we haven't gone over yet. Let's look at events. The top of this page is a list of all the events for the next 30 days across each and every ambassador chapter. So below this is a green box where you'll see a list of the types of events that will happily fund through the ambassador program. In the pink box, you'll see guidelines for people interested in hosting an event of their own. And in the blue box, you can read about what is included in the budget review about each event. This is mainly things we just went over, like having the event shared across social media platforms, making sure everyone registers on Luma, adding the event information accurately on the Notion table, including itemized budgets and detailed agendas, and of course, not forgetting to add the post-event photos and email list, which I will link here. For the photos from each event, follow this link to your chapter's Google Drive. In the orange box at the bottom, you'll see the post-event checklist. This is where you'll find links to the Google Drive where you upload all of your pictures and videos for each event. You can see how Brazil has done it here. You'll also get a link to the spreadsheet where you enter all of the attendees' names and email addresses. You can see the tabs at the bottom for each different region. And if somebody doesn't want to share their email, just make a note on your attendee list so we get an accurate number of how many people were at your event. The next link is ambassadors. I know we already looked at this earlier when we were seeing how many ambassadors were registered for each regional chapter, but I wanted to also show you that if you click the name of any given ambassador, it'll open into full view and you can see their answers to the registration form questions, and you can learn about their previous experience working with the stellar ecosystem or maybe with a different ambassadors program. You can also get their email if you can't reach them on Discord for some reason, and some people even share their LinkedIn page. And finally, the last link I need to go over with you guys is the branding link. Here you will find Canva templates for content creation, a Figma toolbox for designing things like banners and t-shirts, slideshow design kits are here too, and look at all of these official stellar illustrations you can use to decorate your swag or Luma flyers or Medium articles. This is an official program now, so all of your designs must use these branding guidelines. As president, you're responsible for this. In West Africa, the president selected a couple ambassadors who are graphic designers and familiar with programs like Canva and Figma to design everything for them, from banners to gift bags to booths to blogs to slideshow presentations. These ambassadors do it all upon request from the president or the event host. So you can decide on a system that works best for your chapter, but you need to make sure that you use these resources we provide for you. And now you have all the information and tools needed to run a successful ambassador chapter. This is a long video, so thanks for watching it all, and please revisit it when you have any questions about what you're supposed to do. Thank you so much for your hard work and dedication to the stellar ecosystem, and I can't wait to see what your region brings to the program.